Alright YouTube, here's another Shogun 2 Total War. This is also Rice Fields. Hopefully you got to see my teammate and my opponents. My teammate is Time Lord. Opponents is HM Tavington and AA Alpha HM. I'm not really sure what all the clan tags are about. I know HM is Huntsman, and I want to say that, man, I can't remember what AA is, but I know that I've played with some people from there before. I think it was AA Shogun that I did a battle with. And of course I always forget what YouTube names go with what. But I wanted to say it was like Hannibal Bonaparte or someone who might have been AA Shogun. I don't remember. I've noticed that a lot of people spread their armies out really thin, kind of like Napoleon Total War. And, you know, I don't really understand that since, you know, we're not in the era of matchlock. And one of the reasons why, I mean, it's not going to make you lose by any means, but one of the reasons I don't do it is because when you spread your men really thin in thin lines in a melee fight, like if I were to cavalry charge this really thin unit of Yari Ashigaru when they were not prepared to take a charge, they would just rout almost instantly. And the same thing with these Katana Samurai. If these Katana Samurai were to be all spread out like this and then take a cavalry charge, it'd just be absolutely devastating. Now I think people do it to just extend their armies out to make it harder for themselves to be flanked. So maybe that's why they do it. I don't know, I think it's a lot more useful on Napoleon than it is on this game, but again, I'm not saying it's a trash any of my opponents. They can play however they want, and I've seen people spread their armies out on Shogun and play very well, and you're going to see that in this game, because both of our opponents are army spreaders. Yeah, again, I'm not trying to say it like it's some kind of derogatory thing, so don't take me the wrong way, but I guess I'm like a behavioral analyst sometimes when I'm online. I like analyzing all the different behavior that other players have. It's like some players are kind of like me and my teammate here, where we like to block up our infantry for easy mobility, and then some players love having like the huge spread out army that tries to feel imposing. So yeah, these are the army spreaders. So let me go show you what I brought to the battle. Most of my veteran units were ruined from the previous battle, which is kind of frustrating because when you're playing an Avatar Conquest and your veteran units are screwed up, then it's not good. I mean, you can win, to be sure, but it's definitely not good. It's going to be way tougher. So there's old Patch. He's always in all my fights. And then my main line consists of 6 Katana Samurai, which of course have no upgrades because all my upgraded Katana Samurai are depleted at the moment. You have to wait one battle in between using them. And then up front, all my bow units pretty much are depleted. The only one I had was Shoulda Looked Up. And there's my Shoulda Looked Up unit. And then I have 3 bow samurai escorting them. My missile component really isn't bad. Out here I've got 2 units of Great Guard. I brought them because, again, a lot of my Yari Cav were depleted. And I just brought the Great Guard because they're better units, really. And then I sent my 2 Yari Cav into this woods to kind of hide and just spring them at the right moment. I've got 1st Patchy's horse and the regiment of Patchy. Now my teammate has, his army was a little bit weak in the missile department, I thought. But it wasn't bad. Let's see, up front he's got some Yari Ashigaru, some Naginata Samurai, Yari Samurai, Naginata Samurai. Let's see, 1, 2... Let's see, he's got 4 Yari Cavalry that were hidden here in the woods, and he charges them into AA Alpha's Great Guard out here. And these Great Guards have 5 chevrons, and then he charged them all into the same unit too. So not really the best strategy. Since he had more units, he should have charged 2 units headlong into the Great Guard, and then he should have just swarmed around the flanks. He still may not have won the fight, because these Great Guard are so tough and his Yari Cav aren't upgraded, but he would have done more damage to these guys. And another reason he shouldn't have charged is because AA Alpha, of course, had these matchlock units and his Naginata units to support. So I am going to use my cavalry because I can't really just let my opponent get creamed, even though I don't agree with the move he made. So I'm going to try and be a good teammate here and charge in and kill some of these Great Guard, but I can't stay here long because these matchlocks Ashigaru are opening fire, and they will absolutely waste your cav. So I'm going to do a quick charge, which you can see brought this unit down to a waver, and then I'm just going to get my horsemen back to where they can be more useful. And now this last Great Guard unit is left here pretty outnumbered, plus his matchlock fire is going to be demoralizing and killing some of his own units, so there's a calculated risk in firing matchlock into your own men. So you can see that he's firing the matchlock, and they actually ended up turning that fight to where he more or less kind of lost it. But it's really more of a stalemate because my teammate lost pretty much all of his cavalry in the process. But those Great Guard were very expensive. That's 2,400 koku worth of spend, you know, as opposed to 4 unupgraded Yari Cav. Well, no, that's even more. Yeah, so yeah, he did get the better of that. So, or no, because his his Great Guard were upgraded, so I don't know how much they cost. His would be about the same. Either way, both players were risking about 3,000 Koku there. So Matchlock, I've noticed that Matchlock units, like really upgraded Matchlock units, are like all the rage in the fights these days, and they are quite good. But to be honest, if you use meat shields like I do a lot, and meat shields were used in Napoleon, they were useful in Empire. If you just use meat shields, these guys end up becoming pretty valueless. That's why I usually bring like a couple of cheap spear units to every fight, so that way if my opponent brings Matchlock units, I'll just simply get my cheap units in the way and just bum rush them. And once these guys get rushed, they're pretty much out of the fight. Now, some players are very good players, like our opponents here, and they're not going to let that be easy for you to pull off. Check it out here. These Katana Samurai are going to get totally charged by these Yari Cav. Didn't get you the best view of that, but you saw some of it. Yeah, you shouldn't leave your Katana units exposed to a Yari Cav charge, as you will get destroyed in the process. And I've used my cavalry units here to ambush one of HM Tavington's units, and I'm going to end up doing it in. But you can see that these guys are doing a great job of teaming up on my teammate, and I'm able to lend a little bit of help, but my teammate's got himself in a tough position here. Now he's engaged with the 6 Chevron unit of warrior monks, and that's just not going to be good. So I'm trying to think of anything I can do here to help out my teammate, because if he loses here, then I'm going to be done in as well, and I'm going to start attacking soon too, so that hopefully I can do as much damage. You know, obviously my goal is going to be to win the fight on my side, so that if I have to turn and face AA Alpha, that I'll be able to do so. But you know, it's not like I can just mow right through HM Tavington either. He's got a good army over there, and he's a good player. So I'm going to have to, you know, use some calculated thinking here. So I am going to start rushing my army forward. Let me come over here. I haven't talked about HM Tavington much yet, just because he and I haven't begun the fight. And he's, of course, retreating from me. It's annoying to me that he was retreating from me, but I absolutely would have done the exact same thing. This was a smart move. He's trying to avoid a conflict for as long as possible because he knows his teammate is winning over here, and the longer he delays the conflict between he and I, the better chance he has of receiving support. So although I get annoyed when people do these tactical retreats, I highly recommend it. And when I say annoyed, I don't mean mad or anything like that. He made an excellent move. So when I say annoyed, it's more like, dang it, why did he have to make the good move? Because Air likes it sometimes when people make mistakes. Because I like taking advantage of those mistakes, just like any player would. So you can see me rushing my infantry up front. Katana Samurai don't really have the best morale to begin with. And my Katana Samurai are not veteran units. So I'm going to have to use Patchy to his best ability to keep these guys safe. I do have a Yari Ashigaru unit in here too, and I should have just immediately moved Patchy up and put him on stand and fight. I didn't though. I always forget I have the stand and fight ability. It would have definitely helped in this situation and maybe even turned the tide of the battle. I have an infantry advantage up front here, but HM Tavington makes a couple of smart moves. Number one, he screens with this Yari Ashigaru and gets my my horsemen out of place, and then he charges my Katana unit. This is a move that's been used in many Total War games, and it's a very good move. In fact, you've seen me do it before on Rome Total War before. So a very good move that HM Tavington made there. And now the problem is he can catch my Great Guard back here with his Yari Cav, and although head-to-head my Great Guard would waste his Yari Cav, he's got these Yari Ashigaru in the vicinity. And so now my my Great Guard have pretty much been nullified in this battle. I am going to pull them out of there because I'm not just going to let them sit there and die. But again, just because he's done this, he's kept them away from a critical moment in the fight. And that critical moment was what I needed to win the battle. And because I'm not there with my Great Guard, and because I didn't have Patchy ready for the stand and fight, I pay the price. My fairly weak Katana units go ahead and rout. And I am doing better on this flank over here, but it's just not going to be enough. And like I said, I do eventually remember to put Patchy on stand and fight, but not right before I didn't notice that one of HM Tavington's Yari cavalry had just come back from the other side of the battle. And if there's one danger about the stand and fight ability, it's that you're very vulnerable to a cav charge and archer fire. So very good game to HM Tavington and AA Alpha. Both played very well and demonstrated some nice moves there. Of course, you know, I hope that everybody learns from the mistakes and then the good things that I point out in these battles. And one of the things I wanted to point out in this also is that HM Tavington also makes videos, and when we were in the process of playing the battle, he wanted me to make sure and let everybody know that he makes those videos. So I will post the link to his channel, of course, in the description and also on the beginning of the video. And, you know, I'll say that again whenever I get on the results screen blurb. I think I mentioned it again. So go check out his videos. He wanted everybody to come take a look at it. Some of you may be saying, Air, well, I need a shout-out on my videos. I'm not just going to give random shout-out on videos because it'll get too busy. But if you want to play a battle with me when I'm free, and then when I show you in the battle, then I'm more than happy to link players to that channel whenever I'm playing my viewers. That way, you know, it's like a manageable circumstance. But anyway, good game to our opponents. Very skilled players there. I enjoyed it very much. And for those of you who love to see me lose, you should be happy there. You got 2 losing battles out of me in the same day. But again, I think both battles demonstrated some very good lessons, I think, that you can learn from some of the things that I did wrong there. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and this is Air of Carthage signing off for now. Okay, here's the unit statistics from that battle. So for those of you who are always wanting me to post losses, today ought to make your day pretty happy. I don't know why it is that my fans like seeing me lose so much, but they're always begging for it. Oh, in any case, you can see that one of my big problems here is I totally misused my Great Guard. So that was 2,400 Koku that I flushed down the crapper by not using them right and letting them get caught up in those spear troops when I wasn't paying attention. My Katana Samurai, some of them did okay and probably would have continued to do well. Like I said, if I hadn't let Patchy get routed there. And you can see that really it's my Yari Cav did a lot of good, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it's just that whenever you start to lose a teammate, you gotta act, because if you lose a teammate and you end up getting double teamed, then it's pretty much gonna be over. Here's the statistics from Time Lord. You can see that his infantry did not bode well in that fight. None of them really got more than 50 kills. So yeah, that's where things probably went wrong from him. His opponent had a tough army, and a lot of people get kind of scared of those matchlock units, but the key is just kind of knowing how to deal with matchlock units, and you definitely don't want to get in the wrong position with them. Anyway, good game to my teammate. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Teammate and my opponents, HM Tavington. Of course, I'll have a link to HM Tavington's channel as he wanted me to get that up for him, so just look for that in the beginning of the video and also down in the comments. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with more action in the future.